The next AI breakthrough may depend less on a clever paper than on a substation. That sounds like a joke until you follow the chain. A model needs chips. The chips need high-bandwidth memory. The memory needs advanced packaging. The package needs a foundry slot. The rack needs networking, power delivery, and cooling. The building needs land, transformers, water strategy, construction crews, permits, and a grid connection. And the whole thing needs capital, lots of it, spent years before the product earns $1. So this is not just a story about bigger models. It is a story about the physical world catching up with software. This is depth and signal. Today, we are looking at the power behind AI. Why the model war is becoming an infrastructure war. Why the stock market is trying to price that shift. And why the value may be moving from the AI service you see on screen to the machinery underneath it. The central question is simple. If AI services become easier to copy, where does the scarce value go? One answer is down the stack, into chips, data centers, electricity, cooling, permits, and the balance sheet's big enough to secure all of it. For most users, AI still feels like software. You type into a box, you get a response. Maybe it writes code, summarizes a document, drafts an email, turns a sketch into an image, or argues with your spreadsheet in a tone that is somehow both confident and slightly too cheerful. On the surface, the product is light: a chat window, a button, a copilot, an API call. But underneath that surface, the product is getting heavier. Epoch AI's paper on trends in AI supercomputers puts numbers on that shift. The researchers built a dataset of 500 AI supercomputers from 2019 to 2025. Their finding is blunt. The performance of the leading systems doubled about every 9 months. Hardware acquisition cost and power needs roughly doubled every year. Those are not normal software company curves. Those are industrial curves. The paper estimates that xAI's Colossus system, as of March 2025, used about 200,000 AI chips, cost roughly $7 billion in hardware, and required about 300 megawatts of power. That is a research estimate, not a company-confirmed line item. But as an order of magnitude signal, it tells you what has changed. Frontier AI is no longer just a race to write better code. It is a race to assemble, power, cool, and finance machines so large that the machine itself becomes the strategy. And if the same scaling trend continued to 2030, the Epoch paper estimates the leading system would need about 2 million AI chips, more than $200 billion of hardware, and about 9 gigawatts of power. That is not a prediction to carve into stone. It is an extrapolation. It is the paper saying, if this curve does not bend, the physical world becomes the bottleneck. That matters because the old mental model of software starts to break. In the old model, the scarce thing was code. Distribution mattered, yes. Data mattered, yes. But once the software existed, the marginal cost of another user was often close to magic. Not zero, but low enough that software could scale like software. Frontier AI does not behave that cleanly. Every generated answer has a compute cost. Every better model increases pressure somewhere in the stack. If a product becomes agentic, meaning it does not just answer one prompt, but plans, checks, retries, calls tools, and runs in the background, then inference is no longer a little moment after training. It becomes a continuous operating load. That is the important shift. Training is the spectacular part. Inference is the business. Training creates the model. Inference serves the model all day to users, workflows, agents, searches, recommendations, coding tools, ad systems, customer support bots, and whatever else gets stuffed behind a sparkle icon this quarter. Nvidia has a very self-interested phrase for this. It calls modern data centers AI factories. The phrase is marketing, so we should not swallow it whole. But it is also useful because it points at something real. A factory converts inputs into outputs. In this case, the inputs are electricity, chips, memory, networks, cooling, land, and capital. The outputs are tokens, recommendations, ad rankings, code completions, synthetic media, search answers, and cloud revenue. That is why Nvidia's own filings no longer describe the data center as just a room full of servers. They describe a full rack-scale platform: GPUs, CPUs, networking, switches, systems, software stacks, power delivery, and cooling. The data center is becoming the unit of computing, and the financial numbers show the same thing. Nvidia reported $215.9 billion of revenue in fiscal 2026, up 65% year over year. Its data center revenue was $193.7 billion. That is not a side business. That is the center of gravity. The same logic is showing up across the rest of the stack. TSMC, the foundry behind many of the most advanced chips, said high-performance computing was 61% of its revenue in the first quarter of 2026. The hyperscalers are talking less like software companies and more like utilities, builders, and industrial planners. They talk about power capacity, liquid cooling, leases, construction commitments, supply agreements, and future infrastructure obligations. So the first act of this story is not AI is getting expensive. That is true, but too small. The real story is that AI is becoming physical. And once AI becomes physical, the competitive advantage changes. A company with a good model but no capacity may lose to a company with a slightly worse model and cheaper, more available inference. A startup with a brilliant agent may still depend on cloud prices set by a few infrastructure owners. A product team may discover that latency, region availability, and compute allocation matter as much as model benchmarks. This is where the user's experience and the capital stack meet. The chat box looks weightless. The answer is not. That is why the next AI cycle may reward the companies that control the substrate, not only the companies that ship the most charming demo. And that brings us to the first toll road. Before we get there, hold on to one distinction. There is a difference between the AI product and the AI capacity behind it. The product is what gets copied: a sidebar assistant, a document summarizer, a coding agent, a meeting note taker, a search answer. Once users understand the pattern, competitors can often imitate the interface, maybe not perfectly and not with the same model quality, but enough that the feature starts to feel expected. Capacity is harder to copy. Capacity is the right chips in the right place, with the right power contract, with the right cooling, with the right software stack available at the right price. That is not a weekend feature sprint. That is a multi-year position. This is the heart of the infrastructure thesis. If AI becomes a standard layer in software, the visible service may become more commoditized. The invisible capacity may become more strategic. When people say AI chips, they usually mean GPUs. That is understandable. Nvidia became the main character of the AI infrastructure story for a reason. In fiscal 2026, Nvidia's data center revenue reached $193.7 billion. Data center compute revenue grew 59%, and data center networking revenue grew 142%, driven by the ramp of NVLink compute fabric for Blackwell systems. That networking number matters. It tells you the chip is not enough. The modern AI system is not one heroic processor sitting alone under a spotlight. It is a dense machine made of accelerators, CPUs, high-bandwidth memory, network switches, optical links, power delivery, cooling loops, software, and scheduling systems that try to make thousands of chips behave like one computer. The toll road has many toll booths. Start with the accelerator. GPUs, custom ASICs, TPUs, Trainium, MTIA, whatever the platform owner calls its silicon. Then add HBM, high bandwidth memory, because moving data fast enough is part of the problem. Then add advanced packaging, because the chip and memory need to sit close enough together to behave like a system. Then add the foundry capacity to make the advanced logic. Then add networking, because a model training run or large inference cluster is only as good as the fabric connecting the nodes. Then add power and cooling, because a rack-scale AI system is not polite about electricity. This is why just build your own chip is a much smaller sentence than the reality behind it. Custom silicon can be strategically important. It can lower inference cost. It can reduce dependency on one vendor. It can give a cloud provider better margins on its own workloads, but it does not make the rest of the stack vanish. You still need a foundry. You still need packaging. You still need memory. You still need compilers and software. You still need enough volume for the economics to work. And you still need customers to move workloads onto the thing. This is where TSMC becomes central. In the first quarter of 2026, TSMC reported net revenue of 1.134 trillion new Taiwan dollars, up 35.1% year-over-year. Its gross margin was 66.2%. Its operating margin was 58.1%. And high-performance computing accounted for 61% of revenue. TSMC management told investors that its 2026 capital budget was expected toward the high end of its $52 to $56 billion range, citing robust HPC and AI demand. That is the foundry layer telling the same story as the model layer. The demand is not abstract. It is showing up in wafer capacity, advanced nodes, and packaging. TSMC said its N2 process entered high-volume manufacturing in the fourth quarter of 2025, with demand supported by smartphone and HPC/AI applications. It also said it was expanding N3 capacity to meet strong AI demand, including new fab plans and tool conversion. But here is the part that should slow down every clean narrative. Foundry capacity does not appear because a CEO says scale on an earnings call. TSMC's management put it plainly. It takes 2 to 3 years to build a new fab and another 1 to 2 years to ramp it. No shortcuts. That is a sentence worth keeping. No shortcuts. In software, a great team can sometimes compress time. In semiconductors, physics and construction get a vote. So do tools, materials, labor, yields, packaging capacity, power supply, and customer qualification. And advanced packaging is now one of the pressure points. TSMC said advanced packaging capacity remains tight. It pointed to large reticle CoWoS as the current main supply approach, while it works on CoPoS. That sounds obscure until you translate it. The AI chip is not just a chip. It is an assembled system of compute and memory that has to be physically packaged at extreme density. If the packaging bottleneck is tight, the chip supply is tight, even if wafers exist. This is why the infrastructure story cannot be reduced to Nvidia versus custom chips. The real question is, who controls scarce throughput across the full path from design to deployed rack? Nvidia says Blackwell Ultra delivers 50 times higher throughput and 35 times lower token cost than Hopper. It also says Vera Rubin is designed to deliver up to 10 times lower token cost versus Blackwell. Those are vendor claims. They belong in the script as vendor claims, not independent truth. But even if you haircut the marketing, The direction is clear. The industry is optimizing for token economics.